Hello, welcome to another episode of the Long Gone Is a Rock Show, where today I'm going to talk about Tony Hawk and the Bones Brigade and my Tony Hawk skateboard, which I bought in 1989 and I still ride to this day. Let's go. So before I get to the skateboards, I'll just quickly give you a rundown of how I got into skateboarding. And basically, it's quite amusing, actually. I remember when I was in primary school, a kid came riding to school on a skateboard, and I was like, oh man, that looks so cool. And I started asking him about it, and I asked him if I could have a go on it. And immediately when I jumped on it, I fell off and thought, yeah, but I'm going to do this. And so that was my immediate go with skateboarding. And then I remember there was a guy in school who built a ramp in his backyard, and I asked if I could come over and have a go on it, and he said no. And so I just wasn't one of the cool kids at school. And, you know, he always had tons of people around his house on the weekend riding the skateboard ramp, but I wasn't allowed to. But for me, I remember buying my very first skateboard, and I wish I had a photo or an image of this. It was so old. I didn't have the skateboard very long because it broke, but it was a picture of a ninja. I bought it from Cunningham's Warehouse in Salisbury, and it was $20. And I bought it from there, and I rode that thing all the time. The wood that it was made of is obviously, it was just chip wood. It wasn't like a proper, maple, like Canadian maple, like the skateboards are today, or have been for God knows how long. But it was just chip wood, right? And so I'm riding this skateboard around. It would fly out from under my feet. It'd bang into walls and whatever. And eventually it started all chipping away. Now, I ended up scrubbing off the ninja picture because it basically had gotten removed from all the rail slides and whatever else that you do on your skateboard. And so the picture was gone. And so I sanded it down. I actually drew the Twisted Sister logo off the back of Come Out and Play. You know, the graffiti logo? And so I drew that on the bottom of my skateboard. So I had a Twisted Sister skateboard deck. So I got gifted this street ramp, right? Someone just said, I've got a street ramp you can have. And I was like, it was pretty big. I was like, yep, sounds cool. So me and my friends went to pick it up. It wasn't far, but it was like, we had to get our skateboards, and we put the ramp on the skateboards. And I remember we were pushing it along the street, and we got the ramp home, and we were pretty damn excited. I rode this ramp all the time. But I only got to ride it like once or twice with this skateboard because, like I said, it was chipwood, right? It wasn't like proper maple, so it wasn't very strong. And I went off the ramp, and as I landed, the front of my skateboard snapped out, and I went rolling. And it was end of the skateboard. So I pleaded with my mum. I said, Mum, I need a new skateboard. Now, you got to remember that power roller skateboards back then were really expensive. They were $120, and this is in the late 80s, right? $120. That's insane when you think about it. So that's a lot of money. But Christmas was coming up, and so my mum decided that I'll get you a Tony Hawk deck for Christmas. Now, I ended up getting this amazing looking Tony Hawk deck from 89. It was pink with the blue iron cross with the white skull on the top. And I've always been looking for one of those ever since, because it's not the one that I have now. But the problem with that board is it was defective. And the board just started cracking everywhere, like really bad cracking. And to the point where you could, if you were strong enough, you could pull it apart and you could see straight through it. It was just a faulty deck. And so I was kind of bummed out about that because I was worried that it was going to break on me, etc., etc. And I could feel like it just wasn't very strong. So we ended up getting it exchanged for the deck that I have now. Now, this happened right at the very beginning, so in January. So I got it for Christmas in December, and by January I had a new deck. The deck that I have is this one here. Let's have a look in great detail because it's pretty funny, and I love all these old school stickers on it. I used to write to this place called Offshore Surf and Ski. It was in Sydney. If you basically sent them like $1 or something or a stamped addressed envelope, they would send you a catalog plus some extra stickers. This Suicidal Tendencies sticker and this Suicidal Tendencies sticker both came for free with the catalog. And I was pretty damn excited about that, being that I am a big Suicidal Tendencies fan. There's another Suicidal Tendencies sticker, which is from what? The Australian tour? 1993 Australian tour. Still psycho after all these years. So that's what it says. There's a Hellman sticker, great band that I love from Sydney. You can see the Tony Hawk logo is underneath. There's a picture of it there, another small sticker. I started putting that there because this picture was getting scratched and was disappearing from all the rail slides and stuff like that. Even though I put Hazoi rocket rails on it. The Natus sticker, Natus artwork is some of my favorite artwork ever for skateboarding, and I love this sticker. It used to be on my drum kit, but I took it off and stuck it on my skateboard after my drum kit, was getting dismantled or, falling apart and things like that. Airwalk sticker, very cool. There's a bone sticker there that used to come with rails. Like if you bought rails, like the, what do they call them? The rib bones or something like that. It would come with these Bones stickers like that. So I got one of those with that. I got a Vision Gonzalez sticker. I love that artwork on the Vision Gonzalez, and we'll get to other decks in another video. Got this Vision Gator one. Now, I just really like this crazed design. I really do. I have a Gator board that's pink and black, and I just love this design so much. I really do. I like the swirl and the way it is done. Like, it's just incredible artwork. ATS all-terrain skateboards, very cool. Odd Man Out, which is Stephen Caballero's band from way back in the day. So that's very cool. This Jason Jesse sticker is unreal. I always wanted one of these Jason Jesse decks, but, I've never been able to get one. And this other one's just a Randall's band. I just put that on there recently in the last few years just because I like the Randalls. Very cool. And this Bronson bearings one down here, and there was a Rancid sticker there that I got from Big Star Records. I used to have these really crappy trucks that were not that good, but they were strong and they lasted me like 20 years. Like, they just did not break, and I only changed them over because I wanted lighter trucks. So I bought some Independents, as you can see here, because, why not, right? That's the truck company that everybody knows. Obviously Tracker trucks and whatever, but Independent seems to be the brand that everyone loves. I have Spitfire wheels. Now, these were not the wheels that I had on there originally. I used to have Santa Cruz Screaming Hands, but they were factory seconds. And if I can find a photo of them, I'll show you what they look like, because they're actually in a box and they're put away somewhere and I can't be bothered getting them out. But they were great, except they started coning on the edges. So, they would start wearing away on here, which I guess is from all the tic-tacs that you do when you're a kid. But yeah, so I bought these Spitfire wheels. And these wheels are amazing. And yeah, that's what I've been using to this day. The bearings in this one are Bronson bearings. I've got Hazoi rocket rails. I don't even know if you can see that, but that's what it says there. Hazoi rocket rails. I've got one of these cell blocks. This is so old school, this board, but it's the board that I still ride today. I love this board so much. And on the other side, we have the artwork there of Pal Peralta, which is amazing. And there's like 20 Dead Kennedy symbols on this skateboard. I really love the Dead Kennedys, and you can see there's a big black one there. There's another one underneath it in white and black. There's one down here. I just really love that band. The Dead Kennedys logo is probably written on here somewhere. I wrote all over my skateboard deck. Basically what I got told was that when I was going to Fulham Skate Park, people were stealing people's decks, and I was like, no one's going to want a deck if it's got writing all over it. So I wrote all over the deck with bands that I loved. Very, very cool. I just love music, man. I really do. And I love skateboarding and I love punk. And you can see DRI here as well. Pretty cool looking at this back after all these years. Ramones is probably written on here like 500 times as well. Oh, there's violence under the Dead Kennedys. But yeah, so this is my skateboard. This is the one that I still ride today. Now, so 89 is when I really started skateboarding like heavily, and I was really into it. And me and a group of friends would always go skateboarding every weekend. It was such a fun time. Like, it really was. You were invincible. So if you fell off, it didn't matter. You would just, get up and do it again. So one of the things that we always did was watch the Bones Brigade videos. Whenever I got home from school, every single day I would put on skateboarding videos if I wasn't out skateboarding. And the Search for Animal Chin was obviously one of the most popular skateboarding videos ever, for good reason. And it was a video that I watched non-stop. Then Public Domain came out and I was absolutely obsessed with Public Domain. I loved Public Domain.
Mark, twist and shout. Wipe out all over the place, baby. And knees slide out.
Public Domain starts off with this incredible skateboard segment featuring Ray Barbie. Oh my God, I can't believe I've forgotten their names. I feel really bad now. And it is incredible. The street skating that they're doing in that is just phenomenal. Not only that, it had this incredible soundtrack to it. And for years, I had no idea what that was. And I remember back on the Thrasher bulletin board type things or whatever, Phelps would always answer questions about, anything to do with skateboarding. And I remember someone put up something like a shot from that moment. And so I wrote on that thread, I said, hey, what is the song that's playing in this segment? Because I love that song, but I've never been able to find that record. And someone said that it was the band Mech Rad with a song called Weakness. And then Not Like You Records put out this double LP, which has every song that Mech Rad did, apparently. And it is awesome. I grabbed this. It's not expensive, so if you're still wanting a copy of it, you can find it very, very cheap. And I was blown away because there it is, Weakness, second to last song. And of course, as soon as I got the record, I chucked it on and was blown away to hear that song again. It just took me right back to that very first time that I ever watched Public Domain, which I still think today, those videos by the Bones Brigade are unmatched. Just not only in the skateboarding, but also just the humor that they had in it. Also just how thoughtful the stories were that they put into it and the way that they filmed it in that. Stacey Peralta and George Powell had a really good thing going, and it was just wild. It really was wild. But anyway, here is the Mech Rad album, so we can keep this somewhat vinyl related. And in the inside, you have these incredible flyers and stuff with skateboarding on it and whatever. It's tricolor. Very, very cool. Like I said, this album is not expensive. You can still get it really cheap on the secondary market. So it might even still be copies available. I don't know, but I had to buy it right away. And I've been listening to it ever since and loving every minute of it. And a few record store days ago, this got released, which is a Search for Animal Chin soundtrack, which is basically just the movie on vinyl. That's all it is, really. Just the movie on vinyl. They've just taken the dialogue and pressed it onto vinyl, and there we go. It's a double LP. So there you go. It's got all the famous dialogue in there, like maps to skaters' homes and all that really funny stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have. So I really like the inside of this, which is awesome. If you're a fan of 80s skateboarding, then I'm sure you are no doubt familiar with how amazing this record is. It's also on yellow vinyl. And it also comes with a great poster to get framed. Of course, we all need one of these in our home. 80s skateboarding is unlike anything else. And I know it's nostalgia talking here, probably more so than anything else. But don't worry, I do not dismiss anything past the 80s when it comes to skateboarding. I love skateboarding. I still ride my skateboard whenever I can. And I still go and see demos and things like that if I'm, aware of them. 80s skateboarding is unlike anything else. Now, I still collect skateboarding stuff. I have tons of books. I have tons of decks, stickers, the whole lot. Now, I have managed to secure 2 Tony Hawk decks over the last few years, which are just like this one, because I was thinking of retiring my skateboard because everyone's saying, don't ride your old one, get a new one, blah, blah, blah. But I really like how this board feels on my feet. Like, I've tried other decks and I've got plenty of them and ridden them, and I just don't feel, I don't know, it's just not as comfortable for some reason. And I don't know why that is. I mean, they're probably virtually the same thing, but I don't know, this one just feels really good on my feet. So it's the one that I stick to. I managed to pick up a reissue of the Tony Hawk decks. So this is basically what it looks like underneath mine, all the stickers and things like that on my deck. And I love this. This is so cool. I haven't done anything with it. It's, I don't know whether I'm going to ride it or whatever. But it says here their number, which is, this one is 781 of 6,000. So there are 6,000 of these in the wild. My favorite color is green, which is why I picked up the green one. I'm hoping they'll do a reissue of the pink and blue again, because I really do love that deck. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this. They come with these like liner notes, I guess you could say, about Tony Hawk and the Bones Brigade and, stuff like that. So very, very cool. And we'll put that there. And the other one I have, this is without a doubt my favorite skateboard deck ever. And I have this one ready to go. I've got plans for this one. It's actually this Tony Hawk deck, which I absolutely love. Like, this is beautiful. Look at those colors. Look at the way the colors pop. Like, they look so good. I love that green and pink and blue. Like, it's just such a good color scheme. Now, this is actually black light, I believe. Like, if I shine black light on it, it actually will glow. So what I plan on doing is building a light box for it to be displayed in, and have, whatever, and you switch it on and it lights up with black light and makes this glow. That's my plans for this deck, because I love this so much, but I don't want to ride it because, you know, it's just such a good wall hanger. But I really do just love this artwork so much. I should have bought 2 of these. But yeah, on the other side, you've got that. And then obviously shows you the whole series. I should have bought the series. I wish I did, because the Lance Mountain one looks really good. And so does the McGill. Actually, they all look amazing. I've just got this one and I'm so damn happy to have it. Like, just have a look at that. Such a beautiful looking skateboard deck. So anyway, that is a look at my Tony Hawk skateboard deck and how I discovered skateboarding. I do have plenty more skateboarding videos coming onto the channel. So if you do like skateboarding, it might be something you're interested in, and you might want to subscribe if you want. No pressure, of course. Just if you want to subscribe, because there'll be plenty about punk rock and skateboarding. Skateboarding and punk rock to me is joined at the hip. Like, they just are 2 things that just go together. I always have, and they always will. I have so much more actually coming in the skateboard channel. I've got some videos coming on other decks that I have and things like that. But like I said, my original 1989 Tony Hawk is still my favorite skateboard. I just love this thing, and I love how long it's lasted. I mean, as you can see, it's taken a beating and it is so strong. And I've been told, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but you know, so many people have said to me that the 80s skateboard decks are just built better than the ones today. But like I said, I have no idea if that's just, you know, hogwash, just people talking because of their love for 80s skateboarding, or whether there's actually some truth to that. But I've done some crazy things riding skateboards, and not once have I ever done anything really bad with this. Like, I just haven't. Like, it's still going. Hasn't been broken and whatever, but I love this skateboard. If you're still riding an 80s skateboard, please let me know below what skateboard you're riding. There are so many other decks that I wish I had during that time. Like, I always wish I had a Gordon Smith Neil Blender, the one that's got the cartoon in it with the really high kick. It's like green with a square of like a cartoon picture and just said Neil Blender underneath it. That deck, I rode one of those once and it was unreal. Like, the kick on it was really, really good. I rode one at Fulham Skate Park and I was just like, man, I really need to get one of these. And I never ever did. But it's one of my favorite decks that I've always wanted to find. I'm hoping they'll do a reissue of it, or if, you know, someone here will get a reissue of it anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Look after each other. Go skateboarding. And I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.